about a week. I haven't been able to get out here, but my blank is made. It's all glued together, it's dry, but it's been kind of wet out here. So if you can see, I've got a little curve in it right here. So what I'm going to do, this part's flat. These two are straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pattern and I'm going to put it on here and cut this curved section off. So that's not going to bother me. Okay, I got my pattern on the table. This side over here is the side that's curved a little bit. This side is flat. And I'm sorry about the noise. I've got my heater on in the background. It's kind of cold out here this morning. But I don't know if you can see, this is the seam where I had glued these three together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the center line of my pattern up with this seam right here. That way when I get it all cut out, I'll know where center is all the time. So I'm going to, now just like the other one I did, I'm going to trace it out with a Sharpie so I can get a wide trace line, and when I cut it out, I'll cut it out to the outside of the line. Alright, I got everything traced out here. So let me get the bandsaw out and we'll cut it out. And what I'm using is a 1/8 inch bandsaw blade so I can get to the in the curves a little bit easier. Like these curves a little bit easier than a 1/4 inch that came on it. So let's get cutting this out. Alright, I got it all cut out. See it back here. Now we've got to put the pattern back on it and route it out. Okay, y'all remember the last time I did this, I used double-sided tape, then I couldn't get my pattern off, and when I did, it left that tape on there. So this time I'm going to use a technique I use when I make my knives, and I have to grind down my knife scales and drill holes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of tape and put a couple pieces across. Now I'm going to put tape on my pattern. Now that I got the tape on, super glue. Take that super glue and I'm going to put it all over the place here. Line my pattern back up. Push it down. Okay, the pattern is attached to the body blank. I've got it clamped down to my table so it doesn't move. I'm going to do one side, turn around and do the other side. I've got my router set to the depth that I need it. Now let's get to routing it out. Now I can take the pattern off because I can use what I've already cut as the pattern to get the rest of it on the bottom. Okay, I'll lift up the pattern. Now let's see how this pattern pulls off. Man, that was a whole lot easier than that double-sided tape that I used. And the tape pulls right off. Okay, we got it all routed out. I think what I'm going to do next is get ready to route out the pockets, and then I'll get the round over and I'll round over the edges, and then we can sand it. Okay, I glued my pocket pattern on the same way I did the body pattern with the tape and glue, and I'm going to route out my pickup pockets. And I'm not going to route this one out. This is my control pocket because it goes on the back side, so I have to do it on the back side. So let me route these out, and I'm going to route these out at 1 inch deep. The last time I did it at 3/4 and they weren't deep enough, so I'm going to route these out right now. Alright, those turned out pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I need to set my router for the neck. It's 5/8 inches deep, so let me do that. We'll come back and I'll route out the pocket. Okay, I got my router set at 5/8 of an inch. That's with the pattern on it, so we're going to route out the pocket. Alright, I got the neck pocket routed out. Now what I need to do is flip this over and route out the control pocket. So this test fit my neck, and the pattern that I got is a whole lot better than the other one because this sucker fits in there snug. So that is excellent. So I just wanted to test fit that. So let me get the back side ready for the control pocket and we'll get to it. Okay, I forgot one thing before I flip this over. I need to drill the little pilot holes for the two pneumatic bridge that I'm going to put on it and then flip it over. So I'm just going to get a drill bit the same size of these holes just to mark the spot. Okay, we're going to route out the control pocket. Now this is the back side of the body. I'm going to make 2 passes because I can't get it all at once. So let's route this pocket out real quick. Alright, that came out real good. The control pocket came out good. Now what I need to do is set up my routing table and do the round over on the edges. Alright, now I got my router set up to do the round over. I'm going to do an 1/8 inch round over. The last one I did a 1/4 inch because it just looked better, but I'm going to do an 1/8 inch round over on this and see how it looks. I'm going to try to do it without strapping this down. Well, I got a little chip out right here, but that's okay. I'll sand that, and it's on the back side, at least not on the front. But I think that 1/8 inch round over looks pretty good. Next thing I need to do is drill the holes for the neck. Okay, I'm going to do this neck the same way I did the last one I made instead of the neck plate because I don't like them. I got 3 marks right on the center line from the seam, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 bolts and countersink them. Now I've got my countersunk holes in, and I'm going to drill the hole through the center. Take the neck. I'm not going to drill the holes in the neck right yet. I'm just going to mark the hole for the neck. So let's put my neck in. When I got my neck in, tight as it'll go, as far as it'll go, and I believe it's about as straight as it can get. That is pretty straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to drill my neck. These bits have a point on the end of them. All I want to do is get the point inside just to mark the hole. Okay, now I got the holes marked for the neck. because I'm going to do the same thing on the last neck and put wood insert screws or insert nuts in the neck and bolt it down. Okay, before I can go on to sanding, I got one more thing to do. I've got to route out the cavity for the control cover. All right, and it fits. Well, if you're anything like me, when you're building something, you get excited because you're wanting to see the finished product and you forget steps. Well, that's me. I forgot to drill the holes for the control, so I need to do that before I sand it. Let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, now I can get to sanding. Okay, I'm going to sand this thing down, but I'm not going to film all that because it's just me sanding. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right now I'm going to go over it with a 80 grit disc on my sander. I'm going to go over the whole thing and get any of the chip outs and all that out of it. And then I'm going to go back with a 240, then I'm going to go with a 320, 400, and then we're going to come back and stain it. So I'm going to get all that done, and when I get it done sanded, we'll come back and we'll stain it.